All right. Awesome. Good morning, guys. Thank you again. Thank you for joining The Awakening. So let me tell you guys how I came about calling this The Awakening. Look, I was minding my own business, and was just finishing up some work one night. It was pretty late, and I'm like, "Whoo! I'm done with this, done with that. I'm about to shut everything down, Lord. I want to sit and relax for a minute and just chill out before I go to bed. Let me wind down." God said, I just create this event, an Eventbrite. I'm like, what event? He was talking about the awakening. So, I'm like, nah, I'm thinking like, who in the world? I cannot be having this conversation with myself because I'm ready to go to bed. Right. So I'm going to tell y'all about how that happens. Right. So, and I was like, no, that is nobody. I don't know where that thought is coming from. So let me just close this computer down. I could not leave the computer until I created about the awakening. So, guys, this is going to be so amazing when you are aware. Awareness is key, all right, to becoming who you are. So, God is going to show you some things today about you that you've probably noticed, but didn't think it had any real value. But everything about you is valuable. Everything, because guess what? God put it all on the inside of you. So, welcome to the awakening. Discover your God-given gift. So, again, Miss Keisha introduced me. Yes, I'm Kathy Hood. I am a certified gift coach. Well, this morning, I'm your certified gift coach. How about that? So this morning, I'm taking my authority because God has given me this authority, the power, first of all. And guys, what I found out about power and authority is amazing. So power is nothing without authority. We are all filled. We have everything on the inside of us. When you were born, God put everything on the inside of you that you need. But those things have to be cultivated. It has to be nurtured. You have to be, you have to be trained. And so many people, once they recognize something about themselves, they go directly into trying to immediately. Oh, okay, I can do this. I can do this without any kind of training, without any kind of mentoring, without any kind of coaching. And they find themselves, just in the wilderness for a long time for nothing, all because we will not submit to authority. Now, I didn't know this existed about the authority. You would think it was one and the same, but most people think authority is something awful or bad. They think it's somebody having charge over you, somebody always telling you what to do. But what I found out is that authority is promotion. Authority, to have authority, you have been promoted. All right. So you can once you start operating in your gifts, the power that you have on the inside of you, then God will give you the authority to operate in that place. But anyway, guys, I'm a kingdom influencer. I'm a wife. Look, I was married for 12 years, divorced for 5.5 to 6 years. Now me and my husband, we've been back together. This year will make 9 years that we've been married. And I can literally say that we are friends, okay? And I promise you, it has everything to do with God. And secondly, it has everything to do with these doggone gifts, okay? I'm a mother of 2 adult kids. I have a 37 and a 31-year-old. Can y'all believe that? Tell the truth. What are you saying, Curry? I see you grin. I don't know. Okay. But awesome. So, and I am a G-ma. I was like, please don't call me grandma. Don't call me grandmother. Please don't call me granny. Please. So it was just so funny. But I have 2 beautiful grandsons and 1 granddaughter. So I discovered my gifts back in 2006. And so what I found out was that this revival, and this lady was talking about the gifts. And I'm like, what in the world is she talking about? She was talking about this book and all of that. So I was asking my friends after this revival night, have you guys, what is that book she said? Everybody's like, girl, I don't know. We don't know what you're talking about. Nobody else in that room knew what I was talking about. Nobody else heard her. So I hunted that lady down. I got to her and I asked her, what is the name of that book? And so she told me, Discover Your God-Given Gifts. I read that book. I followed up with the authors of that book to see if there's any way that I can learn to teach this. And because it immediately. So guys, once you know your gifts, a lot of you on here, well, a couple of you on here know that instantly. It's an instant change. It's an instant change. Once you get that awakening, it's an instant change. And so I was like, oh my God, everybody in the world needs to know this. And they do. Outside of receiving Christ or becoming a believer, the second thing that you ought to do in life is to discover your gifts. Because what you'll find is that you will be in the wilderness trying to figure this thing out your entire life. And then you want to know why you're miserable, why you're frustrated, just all that. So I won't even get ahead of myself. So actually the gift saved my marriage. So I told you guys I was married for 12 years and I spent those 12 years trying to get out of it. Okay. I was miserable. It was a very unhappy time. I grew up, I had an awesome childhood, young adulthood. And then when I got married, it was like total chaos, total hell. Okay. And in the midst of all of that is when I discovered my gifts. And what I realized it before I got a divorce, but I understood it from me. And then in the process, so when I understood my gifts and I was able to understand his a little bit, I could see his gifts. The responsibility was on me to make that change. And so even with me discovering my gifts, it made a difference in our relationship. It made a difference. Okay. So it didn't necessarily stop us from going through the divorce process, but I grew in that whole situation. God made me the person that I am because of the gifts, me understanding the gifts. So I understood his gifts and I'm like, okay, God, I thank you and all of that, but what's gonna happen? Like, I got it, I got his, we friends, I'm cool, God, I'm cool. You know, I shouldn't have to stay in this. But anyway, so we had a certain situation that happened, which was detrimental, that almost took my life, you know? And when I say literally almost took my life, bleeding, hospital, all of that. And what happened was that's when we got to the place where we were able to, I was able to get a divorce. And so what I knew was that my husband had me in the place where God should have been in his life, right? And I'm like, Lord, I don't want to be in this position anymore, you know? And so anyway, he allowed us to be divorced, but I tell you what, I'm going to tell the little story later on, how that joker would not make sure that he was not out of my space. Okay. He did not want me to go on and find somebody else. I'm like, baby, if you only knew, I'm not looking for nobody else. Okay. This was a trip and a half. So anyway, went on. I had already created and started Marvelous Light. Marvelous Light is a nonprofit organization to help families to prosper. So we encourage, empower, and equip people, not just women, but even though women are my focus, but I know that if we work on the woman, the family is going to be blessed. And vice versa. So if the man gets this first, you know, we know then the family is going to be taken care of. So you cannot help but take this in and let it manifest in your life, into your marriage, into your family. And you're going to treat your children a different way. You're going to treat your family a different way. So we're going to talk about that. And then came along Woman University. I'm thinking that it just out. You know, I was in this other organization and we were helping women. We were having morning calls. And so, you know, I was like, Lord, okay, these women coming to these calls every morning. What am I going to call this? Woman University. All right. And All Woman University was about me sharing the gifts, but then also just mentoring calls. I mean, I was doing Think and Grow Rich calls, the best salesman in the world. And none of that stuff had anything to do with the business. It had everything to do with those people. And so when they tapped into their gifts and I showed them how to walk and operate in it, they took off. Do you hear me? They grew in their businesses. They grew in their lives. Relationships changed. And now Woman University, It has evolved into where we help women to discover this part. What I'm going to be sharing with you is a major piece of Woman University. So we help them to discover, design, and then we dare them into their greatness. And then after that, we don't leave them. We still here as a great big sisterhood. We help them to develop in who they are called to be. What they just designed and birthed inside of Woman University, we develop them into who they're called to be. Here again, remember, you know, we can expose the power that you have, but until it's nurtured and, you know, you figure out how to make that power work, that's just like, you can't put no, you know, 9mm in a baby's hand. You know what I'm saying? And say, shoot it, just because they can find the trigger. Now, finding all this power in a baby, learn how to use it. And so that's what we do in Woman University. Then God said, okay, you can do that with your eyes closed. It's time for you to step out. You know, we got to introduce the rest of the people. Guys, this is my goal for anybody. I want thousands of people. And so Keisha, you know, when you were saying I've helped hundreds and hundreds of women. And so one woman called me back and she said, no, you don't realize that you've helped thousands. She said, because the lives that you've changed, that they are now is duplicating, because all these women are going out doing amazing things and helping amazing people to become amazing. Okay. And so Kathy Hood Empowers is me coming out now, I'm coming out and I'm walking in my authority to teach people about their gifts. This is powerful stuff. This has to happen for you guys. All right. It has to happen in order for you to change and to move and to get to that place where you can come out of the wilderness. Stop looking around, fumbling around, trying to figure it out on your own. You're not going to be able to do it. And even if you get a little bit of it, you want it to be sustainable. Because when, you know, so anyway, let me just not get into it. Let me get off my soapbox with that one. All right. So, you know, it's so many things that we've done in the past. And Keisha, I don't know if you remember when we did that, Dare to Be Beautiful, and and Melinda was around at that time, where the theme was about being a masterpiece.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
And I said, everybody, God told everybody is a masterpiece. There's nobody like you. You know, there's nobody designed like you. There may be some likeness. You know, but there's nobody like you. You are a masterpiece. And if nobody hasn't told you lately or ever at all, you know, or you may say, whether you believe it or not, well, ain't nobody like me. You know, there's only one of me. You know, people do that. They'll play that game with themselves, but not really realizing you are a masterpiece. As you understand your own giftedness, you can enjoy what you do, your work, and you will do it well. Guys, you won't be one of those ones. So you think about it. Are you one of those ones that say when you wake up in the morning, good morning, guy. Good morning. Hey, everybody, I'm up. I'm woke. Let's get this day started. Or are you the one that says, good God, it's morning? You know, you already waking up mad because you got to go to work. You know, oh Lord, I don't feel like going in here and dealing with this person. She coming to my office. They bringing me another report. Oh my God. So if you wake up in that place of frustration and looking crazy, feeling crazy every morning when you get ready to go to work, that's a great sign that you are not operating in your gifts or in that space of working and operating in your gifts. So once you better understand yourself and others, you will find it easier, guys, to forgive. You'll be less critical of others. I mean, you know, so sometimes, like when I understood my gifts, I was able to not be so critical of my husband. You know what I'm saying? So to say, man, that's dumb. You know, that's stupid. And all of this is so, because even if it was dumb and stupid, you know, I learned in my gifts how to back up on that, because me being a perceiver, whatever comes up, yeah, I heard that saying, comes out. Hi. So whatever comes up, comes out. And so I had to learn how to scale back a little bit and soften up my delivery, right? But it enables you to lead a team. You know, so as a, you know, most gifts, there are some gifts that are natural born leaders. Okay. And so when you come out leading, you know, cracking the whip and everything. And so people are like, she's a tyrant. She's a dictator. You know, who she thinks she is, who she thinks she could tell me what to do. Guys, you will find how to lead a team much better. You know, you will function better even as a team player. So this stuff, this gift stuff is is amazing. It's life-changing. All right, so what I want to do, I'm just going to give you guys a little snippet because of the fact that there's so many gift tests and assessments and things and conversations. You know, people love to talk about stuff that they think they know about. They like to be the expert or make you think that they are the expert on something. Let me tell you. So there are 3 categories of gifts. You have the manifestation gifts, you have the ministry gift, and you have the motivational gifts. Now, the motivational gifts is what I am authorized to teach on, okay? So, but the manifestation gifts, I'm just going to tap in a little bit so you guys, because you've seen this operate. You've actually operated in these areas. You may not be, that may not be your top 3 gifts or the gift that you operate in all of the time, but like a manifestation gift is one that is only used that by the Holy Spirit, is administered when God needs you at that particular time to get something done, to speak a word. Because guess what? He needs us. He needs our hands, our feet, our mouth, you know, to speak that word. So a manifestation gift just shows up at the time that the Holy Spirit needs you and you are a willing vessel. So you don't get to really choose at that particular time that if you're going to be used in that gift. The Holy Spirit said, I need you to say this. Oh, a word of wisdom. Okay, word of knowledge. You know, so that's that supernatural stuff that's downloaded in you and that you speak and you be like, man, where did that come from? Man, I know I'm not that smart to know that, to speak that. That's a super, you know, God adds his super to your natural. All right. And cause you to give a word of wisdom or to declare a word for him at that time, or, you know, to share something with somebody. You'd be like, how did you know that? I'm like, girl, I don't know. At that time, I was like, I don't know. It just dropped in my spirit. Or if some guy had me to go speak to this lady one time, he told me to tell her, whatever it is that you are working on, and he said, if you were to do this, and I gave her specific steps, that it'll happen for you. Now, I knew the young lady, but we didn't have no relationship where I knew her business. We didn't talk. We just spoke at church. That was it. And, you know, we communicated like that. We were very courteous, loved her, all of that. But, and so when God used me in that, I was like, man, I was afraid to even say anything to her at first. I'm like, God, she gonna think I'm crazy. We don't have conversations like that. Go do it. I'm like, okay. And that's something you can feel it on your gut. You will not feel comfortable until you get it out. Y'all know how that feels. You will not be comfortable until you do it. So that's a word of wisdom. And so some people do have that gift of prophecy. Now that is a gifting. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to tell you which one that is, you know, but for the ones who don't have that in their top 3, God is using you at that particular time because he needs you. All right. To get a word to somebody. Faith. So this is the part where I was telling you about when you have that wonder working, mountain moving faith, you know, and you're sitting up there saying, oh, okay, girl, I got faith. Just have faith, you know, and girl, I got faith until you hit upside the head with the thing that you need to have faith in, you know, and then you wonder, now you got to put it to work. It's not just talking. You got to put it to work. And I have not seen anybody have wonder working, mountain moving faith, except for in one situation. That was my husband. He believed that God said, no. He told me you were my wife. And, you know, until he tell me something different, I'm just going to keep believing. I'm like, boy, you need to just go on and give that up because my mind is somewhere else. You know, I done made a decision that I'm going doing something else. No. You know, are you out this house? I've been working on this for 12 years. Deuces, goodbye. That boy hung in there. I'm like, why? You know, but he stood on that until it came. I said, boy, it'd be a miracle if we got back together. So I tell everybody when they see us, y'all looking at a miracle, because it is definitely a miracle that we're back together. Now, gifts of healing. That's another one. You know, do you all believe in laying on of hands? Some people may think we crazy, you know, but that's a manifestation gift that God can give you at that particular time. If he tell you go lay hands on that person to heal them from that sickness, go do it. That's a manifestation gift going happening at that particular time. Working the miracles. Now, you done seen people get out of a car or out of an accident that you know they should not be alive. And they'll say, oh, that was just a miracle. Yeah, besides me and my husband getting back together, that's another miracle, right? So these are manifestation gift prophecy. There are sometimes God will use somebody to give you a word, to prophesy, in your life. But if somebody coming to you every single day, they got a word for you from God, I suggest you run, all right? That's my suggestion. Then you got discerning the spirits. So there are people that everybody say, I got to have the gift of discernment. Really? Do you really know what that means? But I'm going to share it with you guys today. But there are times, so people are not, the ones who don't operate in this 24/7, God will use it, give it to you at that particular time to save your life, to to help you out in a situation or help somebody else out. Hey, that's not good. Those people not, he's not right. She's not right. And so it's so funny. Before I understood the gifts, I was operating in them. I'm like, that person right there, something that I don't dislike them, but something ain't right. And so people started using my gifts later. We'll talk about that. Don't let nobody pimp your gifts now, because they will. People started using my gifts. Girl, what you see? After a while, when they started saying, what you see? I was like, you really want to know? Okay, here we go. So, tongues. I don't know who believes in speaking in tongues, but it don't matter if you believe it or not. It's a manifestation gift. It is in the earth. That is a conversation. That is a language with and for God. All right. And then there are people who can interpret what you said. So all the time, even if you're speaking in tongues, that don't mean it's for the whole congregation. Don't mean it's for the whole room. God can just be edifying you. So don't think that every time that you got to speak in tongues, then you got to interpret it. That could just be something for you. All right. So then you have these ministry gifts. Y'all know them as the fivefold ministry, right? The apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastor, and all of that. So let me just tell you, these are not just titles. These are functions. So if you don't see anybody functioning in these, in the description of these doggone, my suggestion again, run. Get away from that situation. So an apostle, so I want to give it right because I can give y'all my definition, but the apostle is one who establishes and strengthens churches. That is such an amazing function to have, because when you have great friends in your life that God speaks to and through for you, for your life. I'm glad to have those people in my life, and when Keisha first said that to me, she said, you have the calling of an apostle, because not only am I building and establishing businesses, but it's people's lives. It's helping them to strengthen in who they are. So I'm a builder of people, guys. I'm a builder of people. And I absolutely love it. So then there's the prophet. The prophet is one who speaks forth the message of God. They're going to tell you the truth, proclaim the word. So the prophet that everybody want to be a prophetess or a prophet. I'm a prophet. I'm like, y'all, if you don't see the fruit of that, again, what do? Put it in the chat. What's this? Y'all get it? That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Evangelist. So the evangelist is one who is called to preach the gospel. So that evangelist is going to want everybody to get saved. Yeah, girl, you better get it together. Get your life right. Come on to Christ. And so there are people in the earth that are built to do that. Guys, just gifted to do this. We can't be mad at them, like, she just so overboard and he just so overboard. No, they are excited about what they are doing. They may not understand it, but they know when you are operating in what you do, you guys, you're going to be so excited about it. You're going to, it's a thing that you don't mind getting up for every morning. You're going to be joyful, excited, not get paid. You'll do it even if you're not getting paid to do it. I'm like, when I used to hear that, boy, when you're working it, before I learned the gifts, You know, when somebody would say, girl, you'll know that you are doing what you've been called to do when somebody, you're doing something you don't want to get paid for, that you don't get paid for. I'm like, I don't know if that exists. You know, that's when I was young. But I've been operating and doing what I'm doing with not depending on nobody to give me a salary. Not a one person. But I've been doing what I've been doing, and God has been taking care of me. All right. And then you have the pastors, one who feeds and shepherds the flock, or shepherds the believers. This is what they do. All right. They shepherd the believers. And then the teacher is one who instructs believers in the word of God. That teacher, man, woo, is something else. So, but we're gonna talk about this motivational gift. This is my jam right here. You know, you have to know that everybody, absolutely everybody, has a motivational gift. They have these gifts. So we're gonna talk about 7 gifts. So they have all 7 gifts. But what you would do once you do the assessment is find out what your top 3 gifts are. And that's what you operate in pretty much, 24/7, 24/7. So these are gifts that we possess, that we were born with. It is part of God's plan. It's part of our DNA. So if he decided what color we were going to be, how short, how tall, what color our eyes, our hair, why wouldn't he just put a beautiful specimen on the earth without some type of characteristics and assignment and purpose for it? You know, so I just tell people all the time, you weren't just put here to be beautiful. All right. You're not just here and just an empty shell. No, God has put all these wonderful gifts on the inside of you. So, you know, because he created us and he's put those gifts on the inside of us, and also we know that he gives us free will, you know, he does give us free will to operate in these gifts. You know, but there's a time when we start feeling all crazy because, you know what, they doing so good and you working with people and you sharing your gifts. Guess what? That's how people will start pimping your gifts. Because they see it and you don't, well, I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm going to share it with you. You can observe it in childhood. You can see it in your children. So when you understand the characteristics, I mean, my kids turned out beautifully. But if I had known these gifts, man, you know, I know them now and I still, you know, I give advice to my children through the word of God and through their giftings, about their giftings, because I know who they are for real now. But as little kids, you can see it because I see it in my grandsons. That little 3-year-old, I said, y'all gonna, that little person, when I tell you he gets the beat down every single day, not once, not twice, not 2 times, but multiple times a day. That's a perceiver kid. He is very stubborn. Oh my God. I'm like, give him to me for 1 week. Because see, I'm a perceiver too. I know how to handle it. But then I got the 7-year-old who's got that teacher gift. He's very analytical. He's like, you know, he asks a whole lot of questions. And so now I'm able to help my daughter to bring up and nurture her kids according to their gifts. So they're going to be beautiful adults. Amazing, because she knows their gifts. And the gifts all have equal value. There's not one gift that's better than the other. All right. Everybody thinks that just because that teacher gift who is very smart, and just because you're compassionate and you may not necessarily like school like that, that don't mean that teacher gift is better than your gift. Every gift is of equal value and is a leader in my eyes. So if you have a gift, why haven't you known it? I just told y'all, if you wake up every morning not joyful, joy is the byproduct of operating in your gifts, your motivational gifts. If you wake up, I wake up every morning excited about what my day is going to be like. I don't care. I'm not saying I don't get tired. I'm not saying that sometimes I may not want to answer the phone, you know, or look at a text or an email. No, but I'm joyful. I'm excited about the work that I do in helping people. I'm a people person. Okay. I love people. And my kids, my family didn't understand that about me growing up. You know, when, my kids, like when they see me out and, you know, I have a conversation with anybody. You know, you look at me, I'm speaking. You look at me, I'm going to make a comment. Hey, my daughter or somebody, they just find me approachable. And so my kids, like, they standing over there, their arms out forward with an attitude. I'm like, what's wrong with you? They were like, you don't even know them. I'm like, you know what? But I do now. How about that? So it's all good. So frustration is the byproduct of trying to operate outside of your gift. If you're frustrated every single day, you're operating outside of your gifts. Point blank, period. It's not because somebody done made you sick. So look, you're operating outside of your authority. You're operating outside of the power that God has given you. That's why you're frustrated. You're sick. You're depressed. You're stressed. You're breaking out in hives. You got a cyst, it's popping up, high blood pressure. All that stuff is because you're operating outside of what God had designed you to do. And you're trying to fit in where you don't belong. So joy is always a byproduct of doing the will of God in your life. All right. All right. So the reasons why you may have not known your gifts is you were never taught it. Percent of people know about the motivational gift. So when they say a gift coach, everybody said, what's a gift coach? I have not met anybody that understood what that meant to this date. And I've been doing this since what, 2006, 2007. So that's over what, 15 years? 14, 15 years. And I can still say I'm a gift coach. And they're like, what is that? I'm like, oh, okay. By now, anyway, but these are the gifts that God has given us. So you never received Christ. He can't cultivate them. Now you may operate in them, but God is not going to nurture and cultivate that for you to be serving the enemy, doing the most in the world. He's not going to do that. And you've had confusing teaching on the motivational gifts. And when I say that, most people, I've taken the gift test before. Yeah, I'm a blue, I'm an orange. Okay, knocking that. But I think, I think Curry said this when we talked, all of these other gifts are derivative of this. Because we break it down to 7. Everybody else want to talk colors because I don't know what a blue and the orange and the yellow is. And I've had that test done. I've taken that assessment. I can't remember what my colors are. Okay? Can't remember. Now, and then they have the animals. Girl, you're a lion. Is that right? Huh. But this girl told me, girl, I'm a beaver. I'm like, who wants to be a freaking beaver? Who? Okay. But anyway, I'm going to get off that too, y'all, because I can be very silly and go in the wrong direction. So let me stay focused. Because I told him, So when I'm in a situation, I don't think about, what a lion would do. You know what I'm saying? What a beaver gonna do? A beaver break down, whatever. What does I think they had, I don't know what all the other animals were. I can't even remember. It didn't stick with me. And so when you discover your gifts, it's gonna stick with you. It's gonna mean something. And guess what? Your life should show some type of success from it. You shouldn't be doing the same old thing. You shouldn't still be in the same place. All right. So, this right here. The obstacles that block the flow of motivational gifts. Let me tell you, this is what's going on in the world today, okay? This stuff right here, when you talk about why you're not operating in your gifts, or, why is it being blocked? And, why am I not moving? Why am I not going anywhere? Let me just tell you, hold on one second. Yeah. The number one reason is bondage. All of these things hold you in bondage. Fear, and the most common is fear. And people, you could call it whatever you want to call it. You can give it all kinds of names. But what it boils down to is fear. And so just think about where, your environment growing up, they have injected their philosophies, their fear. When we learn to be who we're taught to be a certain way, so just like I was sharing, when you leave your parents' home, you're going to take those things that you learned and start operating in it in your home. Like my mom got up and cooked on Sundays. Well, I didn't. I didn't take that philosophy, you guys. I'm sorry. I can't use that one. That was not good. Because can't stand cooking. Okay. But now, like things like the seasonings that you go to the store. This is what my mom bought, so this is what I bought. This is the detergent my mom used, this is what I use. This is how they handle situations, so I'm gonna handle my situation the same way. So if you hollering and cussing, so that's the way that you resolve your issues. So we take those things, but fear is the thing that really incapacitates you to the very core, right? So unfortunately, a lot of kids are brought up in a home where they were abused. It could be physically or verbally, emotionally. And so that stuff grows up with people. It grows up. And so, you might have been in a house with the divorced couple, parents or fighting parents or alcoholism, drug abuse. And you wonder, it's a sad thing, but you wonder why you have those same tendencies, because that was the atmosphere and the environment that we were brought up in. All right. And then, so if you're misused and feel like you missed out on so much and God didn't provide you, your parents didn't provide you with this, and God, why am I in this situation? Now you're mad. Now you're angry. Even as little kids, it doesn't take but one thing that will stick with a child and that will last and will grow up with them, that'll cause them to be in a position of anger and bitterness. And sad to say, and I just think it's kind of strong, but it's true. You think about all these murderers. Y'all, if y'all never seen The Shack, go check it out. It's old, but The Shack, this guy who was a serial killer, and come to find out his growing up, he was abused by his dad. So abusers become abusers. Hurt people hurt people. So when I'm saying anger and bitterness, guys, we got to let it go. We have to. I know it's easier said than done. And if I had not forgiven my husband for the thing he done to me that landed me in the hospital, that landed me, the surgeon telling me he was 2 inches away from killing you, 2 inches from my death, guys. If I hadn't forgiven him because God told me to do so right then and there in the midst of all of that, I'm like, who does that? That's crazy. But this pastor, God had to give me some, he had to give me some confirmation behind that. I said, no, I'm supposed to be mad. I'm supposed to be saying, lock him up, throw him under the jail, burn him, stone him, something. I'm supposed to be saying all of that. But no, I forgave him because I did what God asked me to do. I was not able, I didn't live in bondage. Because forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for you. It is for you. All right. And so that's the thing, guys. And so you have to figure that out and find that way for yourself, how to forgive and not walk in anger and bitterness. And that this one is a hot topic for me, a hot one, trying to be someone other than yourself. There are so many people out here trying to imitate other people, and it is dangerous. It is dangerous for you to try to be somebody that you're not. And now you're wondering why your life is such a mess. So while you're wondering why now everything takes so much energy, so much maintenance to try to be you, because you're not being you. You're trying to be somebody else. So I was sharing with some friends about Dr. Miles Monroe about authority. And he was saying, like, the bird, the God, there's the God craft and there's man craft. So a bird being a bird, God gave him everything he needs. He don't have to work hard. He don't have to force himself. You just got to come in alignment with and submit to the authority of the air, so you can fly, bird, fly. But an airplane, it takes a lot of maintenance. It takes a lot of people to make it work. And it gets expensive. Now you're stressful, you're tired, and all of that because you're trying to maintain something that you weren't built to maintain. That's not you. That's not what you're supposed to maintain. All right. So start trying to be someone else. God has blessed you. He has empowered you. He has powered you to be just who you are. Poor self-image. That's another one. some of us we have a certain degree of that, but it could be something that somebody has said to you. You'll never be anything. You're ugly. I remember I have a cousin that when your family tell you ugly, that is horrible. So she grew up to just be crazy. Okay. She was very promiscuous as a teenager. She was always in fights. She was, all through school, and then even as an adult, became an alcoholic, just crazy. Just all of that because of what something somebody said and nobody corrected it. Her mother, her father, nobody corrected it. Okay. And so then you can be irresponsible. Irresponsibility. Oh, I can be irresponsible with my gifts. Here again, that's why I said, let me get back to this part about letting somebody pimp your gifts. Yeah, you can be irresponsible to who you are, who God created you to be. And then you're mad because somebody's being successful off your work. Man, I wish I could do it. You are doing it. Man, so-and-so, she doing really good. Now you're working with it and now you're jealous and all that going on, but not even understanding that a lot of that has to do with the gifts that you provided. So that's why I love when I'm working with people, I love to allow them, look, I love to delegate. I love to tell people what to do. Right. But not in a crazy way, no mean way. It's about what you're gifted to do. And people appreciate that. They love working in the place gifted. They're going to be happy. They're going to be joyful. They're going to get the work done. And the team wins. You have a well-oiled machine when everybody's operating in the gifts that they have. All right. And sin. I don't even think I have to really explain that. Y'all know sin is sin. Anything you're doing against the will of God is sin. And that's going to block your flow. All right. So sin that's known and unknown. So if you know it, stop it. If you don't know it, you can go and pray and ask God, tell me that sin that I don't know about. All right. All right. So y'all ready? So guys, there's an assessment. So you guys won't be doing that. I'm just really giving you all an intro. So hopefully so far that this has been really good. And, put any comments that you have or questions, let us know. Put it in the chat. So these 7 gifts, I'm just going to tap into a little bit of them because I don't want to hold you all day too long. But this is the best thing that you could have ever done for yourself on a Saturday morning. How you're spending this time with me, I appreciate it. I do. But it's the best thing that you will ever do in life. I told you the second best thing, rather. All right. So the perceiver, guys. So I gave y'all a little snippet about the perceiver, right? In me, my mouth, and learning to curb that stuff. But the perceiver doesn't know. That's what I want you to understand. The perceiver doesn't know that they're being rude. They don't. And most people saying, "Oh, why you say it that way?" I'm like what? I'm like, you're just so doggone sensitive. Stop being so sensitive. I didn't mean it that way, but guess what? It was real to them. So, perceiver is one that see everything is either black or white. There's no in between. There's no maybes. No, none of that. That is like the devil to a perceiver. Okay, that is the enemy saying, I don't know, but perceivers we make decisions very easily. This, let's move, let's go, let's do this, blah, blah, blah. And then you get somebody else like, oh, okay, I don't know, well, maybe this, and all around the world, we like, no, cut it out. So I had to learn that because what I would do, my response would be to my husband, like, what's the problem? What, you don't see this? Make a decision. But if he's led by the gift of compassion, that's not his makeup. Right. And so that caused us to be in arguments not once a week, twice a week, every single day of our married life for 12 years. I'm like, who does this? But now, guys, we are friends. And not to say that we don't have disagreements, but we learn how to communicate that. all because of these gifts. Because before we could get back together, I told him, you're going to have to learn my gifts. And so when he understood that I'm a perceiver and he read that stuff, he was like, he ran in that room. I ain't gonna tell y'all exactly verbatim what he said, but he ran in there, he looked at me, he said, that's you. So when he was reading my description and the characteristics of me, that's you. That's how God made you. Now he understood that I wasn't trying to take his manhood. I'm not trying to run everything. I don't think I'm big and bad and all of that, and I'm not a bully. As him and my kids used to tell me all the time when they were growing up, Mom, you're a bully. I'm like, no, y'all just don't want me to tell y'all the truth, first of all. And then what I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. Get to stepping, clean up, do this, do that. So, but that little compassion or the server may say, I'll do it for you. Okay, no, maybe we'll do it this way. Not the perceiver. Get your butt in there and do what I told you. Okay, so we like yes or no. We don't do all that in between stuff. We can easily see the characteristics of somebody. Okay, you can see, you may say, it's something about that person. I can't put my finger on it, but people who are unbalanced and don't understand that, they'll be like, oh, I don't like her. I don't like him. It's just something about them, and they just take the wrong approach to that. But God has given you the ability to see something and it's not for you to be judgmental, because perceivers come across as judgmental. It's for you to pray. Pray for that person or pray over that situation and keep it moving. And then if anything else is to become of that, God will let you know. All right. We believe in repentance, look, get it together so you get a strong, happy life. All right. Has a few or no close friends. So if little Johnny don't have perceivers have very high standards. So if they don't have many friends and they don't want to hang around, don't be trying to make them have friends. They don't want to be around them, anybody that's beneath their standards. And little kids have standards. Oh, no, they talk about folk. Oh, they pick on people, and then even as adults, when we recognize that, I can be cordial and be nice to everybody. That's why most people think that we are all best friends, because I accept them for who they are as an exhorter, but I'll talk about that. But, so the kids, they don't picked up something about that person or those kids or that group, and they don't want to be around all of that. All right. Like a bull in a china shop. If they're not careful, they'll break up some stuff. Tell you, if you don't want to know the truth, do not ask a perceiver, because they're going to be very honest with you. Okay, they're going to tell you the truth. And so I'm like, and then the fact that they are very frank and outspoken and don't mince their words don't help. Coming along with the honesty, right? So that's why in the problem areas, I teach on the problem areas as well. And so I call that just being out of balance. So just learning how to present our truth a little bit softer. All right. Let's see. So we got our server. So that's not all of it, guys. I'm just introducing you all into it. Just to let you know that I'm sure that either you see yourself or you seen somebody. So I want y'all to put down when you see your uncle, your mama, your daddy, your sister, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, put something in the chat to say, put their name down there. To say, I saw her, because when I start reading this, I'm like, oh my God. That's how I was able to work on my marriage. I was like, oh my God, he's a compassion. Jesus Christ. That's why. So now the server recognizes a need and is quick to meet them. The servers can't come in, they cannot stand clutter. They come in the room. If a chair's out of place, they got to put that chair back in place. Dishes in the sink, they don't go for it. Unfolded clothes, no made up bed, it drives them bananas. If you move something out of place, that they know this pillow goes right here. And if you who moved the pillow? I'm like, I did. Well, the pillow goes right here. I'm like, okay. No harm, I was just moving. I just thought it looked better. The pillow go right here. Guess what my husband was like that. If I move something, Kathy, did you move that so-and-so? I'm like, me and you the only one in here. If you did not, you didn't see that perceiver mouth. You know, me and you the only one in here. So yeah, I moved it. Well, it doesn't go right there. It goes over here. I'm like, oh, okay. So before my mouth, where it go where I put it, you know. But I learned better, guys. I'm telling you, this stuff works. It's amazing. They're great with their hands. They love doing manual projects. They love cooking, fixing things, gardening, sewing. They just love anything that, and I'm talking male or female, guys. So this gift is just for who is male or female. It's universal. It's not like, oh, there's a special gift for men and a special gift for women. No. So they love manual projects and jobs, and those are the ones they're not necessarily interested in school. Not like a 4-year college. They'd rather go to a trade school. And so, you know, when I want you to go and be a doctor, a lawyer, you know, they make just as much money or more becoming a contractor or whatever they like to do working with manual projects. And they can fix about anything naturally. I've seen women fix that have never been to school for it, all types of stuff. You know, I'm like, girl, how you learn to fix a washing machine? Who showed you how to take this door off the hinges, you know, and put up a new door? And they love painting. They're the ones who into hairstyle, cosmetology, you know, stuff like that. It's very neat and keeps everything in meticulous order. I told you they don't like clutter or disorganization or dirt or none of that. Keep the house clean. You can go by a service house at any time and be ready to be entertained, okay? Especially that woman. And a man have very good memory. They don't forget nothing. So when my husband, he has that gift too. So when he be telling me stuff about what happened back in the day, he be telling me things about him as a little kid. And so when I ask him something that may have happened about a week ago, he told me, I don't remember. I'm like, you are lying. You do remember. You know, so stop playing. I know you. I know your gifts. And he can't do nothing but laugh. You know, so get it together. They love showing hospitality. And the last thing I'm going to say about them, they have a hard time saying no. That's why they find themselves on so many projects, doing so many things for people, because they want to help. They love serving. You know, and it's a beautiful gift. I love servers. I love them to no end. Love them. Because they help me out so much in their giftings, you know. And so, because that's not in my top 3. So I love to have people work in their gifts, right? Okay, so that next one is the teacher gift. This is the little smarty pants gift, right? So this teacher is, let me tell you, teachers are very analytical. And these teacher gifts, they don't care nothing about your opinions. The facts, please, just the facts. They're going to go research everything. Don't let it don't let it just have a tiny bit of suspicion, or it just seem a little shady. You know, they're already going to research it, but they're going to jump on it real quick then, right? And they don't care if that they'll sit through your whole presentation and, yeah, but let me go do just a little bit more research, you know, I'll get back with you and all of that. They're very logical. They're very systematic. I love them, you know. Let's see. Like I said, they like to validate truth. They don't want to just take your opinion. They love to read. This is a part that I just really need to share. It's 2 gifts that have this thing of, they're very nonchalant. And so they don't, you know, that affection and all of that. Don't be looking for all of that. Now, when they get in that mode, they will do it. I'm not saying it's not in them. Well, but that teacher is one day will stare a hole right through you. Like when you're talking and then, you know, you're thinking that, when I used to teach this in a group and they're asking me questions, and they're not asking me questions. When I'm talking and presenting and they're staring and they have this little, you know, this nonchalant look in their face, I'm like, why are they looking at me like that? You know, I'm like, oh my God, them faces used to scare me. God told me, don't be afraid of man in their faces. So, but at the end, they would come back, they'd be like, girl, that was on point, that was good, you know, and it's resonated with some things that they already know, because teachers are very smart. They're smart, they're very intelligent, and they know they're smart. They don't mind letting you know how smart they are. Okay? So most people take it as being arrogant. But teachers, that's just who they are. They just know their stuff. But they're very nonchalant. You're not going to get no sympathy like that out of a teacher. And I know that from, you know, counseling a couple, that one was a teacher and one was compassion. I said, girl, stop thinking he's going to do all this compassionate stuff as a teacher. His teacher is the gift that leads. All right. So it's so much more to these folks, but like I said, I can talk about this stuff all day, guys. I'm giving you something that I teach these people. You know, I mean, I can teach it in 4 weeks. You know, I've had it down to 45 minutes, but it was only like a snippet. So, but it's so much information. It's so much. So then the exhorter, that's my number one gift. So we love to encourage, we are encouragers. We love to encourage others to live victoriously. We don't see no obstacles, we see opportunities. You know, we're very positive. People love us for our positive attitude and approachability. They say we talk a lot. That one floored me. I didn't think, I was like, no. So I asked my family, I said, do I talk a lot? They were like, yes. I was like, did you have to say it like that? Do I really talk like I just didn't think so. But we love working with people. Our focus is people. We love people. But it's so much more. You know, we're gonna encourage you that there is no I can't do it or I can't make it happen. No, when you leave you're gonna leave us with some steps on what you need to do to get it done as an exhorter. All right, so we're gonna help you to understand that you can get this done. You can do it. You just got to do the work, you know. And we accept people for who they are. All right, and I'm not going into any of the problem areas, guys, just so we won't be so long. The next one is the giver. They do just like that, just that. They freely give of their time, their possessions, their money, their energy, and their love. All right, so they give. But they also like to be a part of whatever they're giving to. So that means they believe in it, they will serve. But the main thing, they are good with money. They're good with those numbers. And most of them are in that field, you know, in the accounting field, bookkeeping. Most of my givers that leads with that gift. You know, if you don't lead with it, you may not be in that field, but you're just naturally good with numbers and keeping up. Like my giver friends, I know, one of them, she actually, she'll tell you in a minute, she will faint if you tell her that you cannot save a penny. She would literally just spaz out on you. Yes, you can. I'm like, okay, calm down. You know, and so she would take over your bank account. You know, we were at breakfast one morning, and so she was talking to this lady that we did not know. She's like, here, give me your phone number, give me your bank account number, and I can, you know, and I can go in and I can look at everything and show you. I said, slow your roll. Slow your roll. You don't know them now, even if you did, and I know she didn't, she's not that type of person that would do anything, you know, illegal. But I'm like, they can say you took something. Girl, slow down. So I had to help her. That perceiver had to kick in. But they are good at business. Anything they touch, anything their hands touch, it turns to gold. They do love giving to people. All right. And supporting. And like I said, handle finances really good. And most of them are natural evangelists too. I was telling y'all about those evangelists. I'll tell you about God now. They're gonna tell you. For my ones that does that. So what we got? Administrator. This is my third gift. And it's so amazing with these administrators. They are natural born leaders, point blank, period. If you have administration in your top 3, you're going to end up in leadership regardless. Well, not. Because you know what, you just going to rise to the top in what you do, because we love to do things in excellence. We're note takers. Oh my God. I'm sure you got plenty of what you call them, journals and tablets. Yeah. Taking great notes. I go, girl, let me look. When I tell you, I said, you know what? When it's my time to go, and my kids come over here and they're gonna find all kind of journals and tablets. They're gonna be like, we got all kind of stuff. We got everything we need to know how to live, because my mom has notes on everything in all these different little books. So just find every notepad, tablet, journal is full. Okay, that's us. So we like to organize what we do. We're very organized. Now, the ones who lead, now I don't lead with that gift. I am organized, and I have some organized chaos going on my desk. Yeah, that's that's what I'm talking about. But so no, those servers, yeah, I'm with you, Latricia. I'm with you, girl. And so those doggone ones who lead, but those servers, that's gonna be clean. That girl, they cannot stand it. They're gonna leave the office. It's gonna be spotless. It's gonna look beautiful. I'm like, how do your desk look like that? Mine just scattered. Now I'll pack it all up and and then start all over again tomorrow. But they are great communicators. Administrators are. Let's see. Look, I love this part, and I say this all the time because even though we're natural born leaders and we can lead and we will end up in that, but we are great followers. We love to be authority under authority. Because look, when I learned that this past couple of days about being under authority, that's the best. That's powerful. That's the best place to be, because what you can do is learn from the one that your authority that you're submitted to, and then you become greater than that person that you're submitted to. That's the way it's supposed to work. A great leader will lead you and want you to be better than them. They don't get jealous, but they do get jealous. People do, because they don't know about this. So it's all about what they're learning and what they're hearing. All right, I can work on a long range goal because I want to see how it's progressing, and but like servers, they don't like long-term projects, ones that lead with that. Now they'll do it because now guess what? When you have a server and an administrator, so they can kind of flip-flop between the two because they have those gifts. And so that's another thing. You can have a combination of the server, what we call the speaking gifts, and the serving gifts. So those stronger gifts are like the perceiver, teacher, exhorter, and administrator. So those are the ones that pretty much lead. They call the server, the giver, and compassion as the serving gifts. So when they mix up, so you got a high and low going on, And so, but when you learn which gifts are operating, now, see, remember I was saying, when we're in that place, I don't know when to use the blue or the red or the orange, or to be a lion or a dog or a beaver, okay? But when I'm in operation, I know this is perceiver girl standing up. Girl, I need for you to be quiet. You know what I'm saying? I need for you to, take it down a notch or two, and let exhorter exhort, and edify and love on these people, because we're very happy. We're happy all the. I am happy. Most exhorters are happy, go lucky, pretty much. And I tell people I'm always on 10 when I'm operating in me. Yeah. So I'm your natural cheerleader. So, but anyway, that administrators, we work on some projects and we love to see the outcome, but we get bored easy. So once that project is done, it's so we don't like repetitiveness, so we won't be able to be the one to be on the assembly line, and doing the same thing every day. I love for my days to be different. That's an administrator. So we are visionaries. We see things, we visualize, we see the big picture, we create, and we design. And once that first business is done and running, but if we're not taught in this, we'll start this business. Then and then this business, and then this business. So, but that's why when you learn this power, it has to be nurtured, it has to be cultivated, so you can begin to operate in authority, right? So that way we can stop having all these doggone different projects going on and not one finished or working to its capacity. We have a hard time, we will work until the thing is done. So I used to be up all night long. My husband be like, girl, do you know it's 2:00? Go to bed. 2:30 in the morning, 3:00. And so I've gotten a whole lot better. I may go to bed around 1 o'clock. I'm working on going to bed around 11 o'clock, y'all. I'm trying to get into bed by 11. I'm working on it. So I've come a long way. So, okay, and constantly write notes to self. Sticky note queen. When I at my job, sticky notes everywhere. Everywhere. Don't touch it because I know what that note means and what it stands for. And then we have the compassion. And so this is what I call the big kahuna. Because I always feel like that we have to protect our compassion people because they, out of all the gifts, has the greatest ability to show love to people. They have the greatest ability. And so many people take advantage of that. You know, and because compassion people, they see the good in people, you know, they're drawn to the hurting. They want to, they're peacemakers, they're bridge builders, you know, they want to see everybody get along. And so with all of that, you know, going on, the compassion person can easily be taken advantage of because of their heart. You know, if they see a need, they're gonna work. If they see somebody in trouble or hurting, they're gonna do something about it. They're gonna be the one to do something about it. They are attracted to people with that are hurting, so they can see what they can do to help them. You know, to get through it, to get past it. They'll be the ones to bring you dinner, lunch, breakfast. You not feeling good, you may take you to the doctor and take you to the hospital. I'm like, nah, girl, it's all good. No. You want me come over there and sit with you? No, I'm good. You know, well, you that I have like, no, girl, I'm gonna be all right. You know, but no compassion, no, I'm gonna bring you lunch. I'm like, okay, now you know I like to eat. So it's not gonna be too many times I'm gonna turn down you bringing me some food, compassion and serving person. You know, and but they take action to help people. They're just motivated relationships. They love the opportunity to give preference to other people. They remember people's birthdays. They love to, you know, celebrate them in that manner. And anniversary. Let me tell y'all, my husband used to call everybody in his phone on the holidays. I used to say, why do you do that? Because my gift, he's like, you ain't gonna call so-and-so and tell them Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I'm like, no. I'm like, if we just happen to talk. But I ain't about to go through and call everybody. You texting. And so when you see a lot of people that do that, I mean, and it's not that I don't want to say Happy New Year and all of that, but it's just not in my DNA to just be that. That's so important right now. All right. But if I see you, oh, girl, hey, happy birthday, you know, happy Hanukkah, whatever. You know, so we're going to be celebrating at that time. So it's not that I don't want to, but it's just not in my makeup to that being the most important thing at the time. So last thing I want to say about the compassion people, even as kids, you know, when they get, you know, easily abused and misused because of their heart. And people see it and take advantage of them. And then when they are taken advantage of when they're growing up, that stuff grows. And that's how they get into the anger and bitterness. You know, they were bullied in school because of the fact that, you know, they're sensitive. They don't want to fight. They don't like confrontation. You know, most of them, they don't want to argue. So they'll just let you have your way. And then they suppress all those hurt feelings and anger. And then all of a sudden they explode. I'm like, what? You know, so if you say, oh, you know what? Pass me the salt. Why you want that salt? And blah, blah, you know, all of a sudden something real simple, they going off, you know, it's bad for you. You know, my mama died from high blood pressure, you know, so it'll go all the way back to something that happened to them as a kid. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You know, but they go all the way back. And I'm telling you from something that I know. It wasn't about salt, y'all, but I'm telling you what I know. I've experienced it. You know, my husband had so much anger in him. Didn't know where it was coming from. And then when I finally found out he was molested as a kid, you know, and he just grew up an angry animal. But they can hide it. He hid behind it for so long until he couldn't hide it. So, guys, and so for us to be in a situation, he turned to drugs. He had a drug addiction. So that's how they end up in that stuff, because they're trying to suppress those feelings of anger, not being good enough, thinking that they're not, why me, and God, why you let that happen to me? So, and all of that, and they grow up with that too. Now he realizes that how much God really loves him, how amazing he is, and that what happened to you, that person was sick. It didn't have anything to do with you, but they put it off on you and all that good stuff. And so they grow up, he grew up, when I tell y'all, for years trying to be somebody else other than him, it was horrible. I'm like, your friends are not, they're crazy. They're using you, and so he would defend. Oh, that's another thing a compassionate person do. They'll defend somebody to the death. Okay. I'm like, are you nuts? Until he finally saw it. So guys, so now it's about living your gifts. It would definitely help you with marriage challenges. And so I just shared with you guys some of the things that me and my husband went through. And guess what? We're getting ready to have a marriage retreat in September. And the number one thing in this survey that we took, that we had the people to fill out, was communication is one of the top areas. And the reason why people can't communicate really well is because their gifts are clashing. They haven't love with each other, when they say, well, oh, we just fell out of love. I'm like, oh, okay. Now I remember you being saying that too. Oh, girl, we don't love each other no more. When you don't. Back in the day when you were dating, now that's not working. All of that because your gifts. You don't know your gifts in your job, in your career. So in your job, or career, and when you're ready to change, when you find out that why you're so unhappy every single day when you go in, and why you're not getting along with with your supervisor, or you as a supervisor, why you're not getting along with the people that report to you. It's crazy. It's just all about not understanding your strengths or their strengths. And everybody thinks, so when the strengths show up, so anytime I go somewhere, be it job, church, or whatever, when my strength shows up, everybody wants to get all crazy and intimidated and who she thinks she is. They don't say it to my face. Now, it gets back to me because, now I ain't going to back down from that. Most people say, so when they see that strong side of me, now as an exhorter, now, I told you I grew up with 3 brothers. So y'all know I grew up fighting, right? So, and then as exhorter, I'm nice. Oh, hey, smiley, all of that. Push that right button. My husband used to tell them, they say, is she this way all the time? He told me, yeah, but make that N word mad. Push the right, make her mad. It's on. Okay? Business. When you're running your business, when you're building a team, you'll know where to put people in the right places. And just because somebody said, "Ooh, I can help, I want to help," and then you find all these people who wanted to help, right? And then when when it's time to do the work, everybody want to disappear. They want to ghost you. They may start off and be like, I ain't think all this was going to be happening. Guess what? In Woman University, we deal with that on their own vision. Y'all ghosting us. It's your vision. Don't be ghosting me. I'm going to hold you accountable. Right? And then ministry. So they, not operating because they just want to be in a place of power and understanding that you don't have that kind of power. And you're not going to be operating in it until God give you the authority, not for real. And so anybody that is operating in some type of position, they have to answer to somebody. All right. So these gifts will help you in your marriage, with your children, in your career path, in your business, and in ministry. So it's up to you guys. It is up to you. Now the application part is for you. Learning your gifts, it would enrich, it would enhance every relationship on every level. Increase your understanding and help you to accept others for who they are. Now you won't judge them, and you won't be thinking that they don't like you and you don't like them and all of that. It equip you to be a better leader and to really help people and minister to them more effectively. And it will enable you to cooperate with God's plan for your life. I love that part. And real freedom is operating under authority. That's real freedom. Because that's where the protection is, because you're going to, that's where safety is, When you know that you're operating in the power that God has given you, and that he's giving you the authority, that means everything is in place, like the birds, like the fish, and all of that. They have to operate under the authority of water, of air, the fish and the bird and anybody else, whatever. You as a gift person, you and your gift, me as an exhorter, I'm operating under the authority of encouraging people. God said, I want you to encourage. So I've been authorized to do this. I've been authorized to unleash you guys to do the same thing. I'm authorized. So y'all just get that in the spirit today, right there at the top of the page. Miss Kathy is authorized to help me to unleash my power to become great in this world. All right. So you were born with everything you need to be successful. So embrace you. All right. And so understanding your gifts, guys. So at this point, if you want to know your gifts, for sure, not guessing, not I think I'm this, and you want to know specifically what you do or who you are, how God has, how he has wired you. What's part of your DNA? What are the 7? What are your top 3? What are you operating in? So when a situation show up, you know who to let operate. Because guess what? So many times, like when people are working in or operating or in a situation, they would let the wrong gift lead when you know this person's not right. They stealing your money, but you don't want to say anything because you don't want to hurt their feelings. No, so I tell people, no, I need for you to let perceivers show up, rise up, and say what needs to be said or whatever that top 3 is. If you're operating in that compassion, if we need the server gift, we need the administrative gift to show up or whatever else is up there with them top 3. If that one, which one you're operating in. So it's nothing to guess. These are my top 3, and this is what I do every single day. All right. So, woo, guys. Ooh, so I guess I do talk a lot. I'll talk for an hour. Jesus.
It was a good hour now.
So I'm going to stop sharing. So you guys, look, so this link, I don't know if Dr. Lisa is still on, if she can put this link in the chat for me. And you guys can go to my website and, well, you can go to this link and it'll take you right to the page to set up. So let me, is she still? Yeah, Dr. Lisa is still there. Hey, Dr. Lisa. So yeah, so you guys, so Dr. Lisa.
Yes, ma'am.
So just tell them a little bit about how this process works and the cost and all of that, please, ma'am.
A little bit too high. Hi, everyone. I am the geek behind the mechanics of Kathy's sites. And when
she already got gifts, y'all. I love it.
Yes, I am Kathy's resident teacher. When you click on that link, the kathyhoodempowers.com/awakening, that will take you to the gift purchase page. You can see a little bit more about what you're buying, what's going to happen. It'll prompt you to create an account and pay for your assessment, and you'll be taken directly to your test. At the end of your assessment, you'll get your gift receipt, your gift report, and you'll also get that via email, and Kathy will get it. Once you get you're going to immediately get the gift assessment results. Then you're going to get an email invite to meet with Kathy to discuss your results. And I highly recommend that, because having the gift coach tell you why your gift is the way it is and what you need to do in order to operate properly in your gifts is invaluable. I've taken the assessment, and even though I knew a lot of things about myself, I'm pretty self-aware, there were some things that I wasn't giving myself permission to do because of the experiences I had as a teacher in 8th grade. So I grew up with a lot of things that held me back from my success because I didn't trust the knowledge that I had working with Kathy, both as her consultant and as her client, has helped me a lot, and my business has grown because I've accepted who I am and what I do. So I urge you to go ahead and click the link, get your assessment. You are saving $50 today on your gift assessment, and get started. There is prosperity and increase on the other side of knowing who you are.
Yes. Oh, I love that. That is prosperity, because that's what we teach people to do, to, encourage you to prosper. So, yes. So, any questions? Anybody who are ready to take their gift test? Me. Put me in the chat.
All right, I'm going to step off the stage now. Go ahead and go order your assessment.
So, guys, any questions? Oh, done. Awesome. Awesome. Come on, guys. So, when you get out, guys, I'm telling you, it's the best thing that you will ever do in life. So tell me, open it up. Keisha, we can open up then for questions. You guys, what did you guys get out of this? Oh, it looked like Latricia and Gabriel are already headed up. Y'all looking at the link?
Yeah.
I said, I see y'all. Y'all look distracted. See, I see what's going on. So what you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, feel free to unmute yourself if you have any questions. We're happy to take questions at this time, or if you just want to put them in chat, we're happy to read your question.
No, I want to hear from y'all. Yeah,
you want to hear? All right.
I want to hear from you. Gabrielle, Latricia, that's a mother-daughter. I appreciate you guys being here. Zakara, go ahead, Latricia.
No, I was saying thank you for doing this. This was really, really helpful. We were over here cracking up, laughing about the different gifts. And when you gave examples, we were sharing examples of how we are very similar with some of the, not similar in our gifts, but we could relate to some of the things that you said. And she said, yeah, that's you. You like to rearrange stuff. You like to move stuff here. You like to, so this was really helpful, because I've done, just like you, I've done the tests over the years. I've done so many tests, spiritual gifts assessments, and I'm familiar with them, but this was a different way to break it down. And I like the way that you did it. And I like the examples that you used. So this is really, really helpful. And I was glad that she was able to be a part of it too. So
it was a great way to spend my Sunday morning.
Saturday.
That is awesome. I'm glad you feel that way.
She said it felt like Sunday. That's what she said. It felt like Sunday. Wow. Wow, Miss Kathy, thank you so much for your time. I truly learned a lot from this, and to actually have you break it down for me the way that you did. I'm sitting here and I'm listening to you speak, and I'm like, oh, that's that person. Oh, that's why I don't like that person right there. And now just bringing it all together, and now I'm able to do a little bit more from what I learned from you. But I'm ready to dive in, talk to you some more, get the full in-depth of how to really utilize these gifts to the fullest of my potential. So thank you so much.
Oh, you are so welcome. This is awesome. Thank you for being here too, Carrie. I appreciate your support. Let's see.
Kathy, amazing. You made my drive more enjoyable, and you gave me so much value in the information that you provided. I can't wait to take my test and talk to you.
Awesome. Great. Thank you, Zakara. I'm glad. Yeah, it does make to take up some time with that driving time. So when we're out and about. But I appreciate you being here. Thank you for showing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, thank you. It was amazing. I feel blessed, definitely.
Oh, great. That's awesome. That is so awesome. Thank you. And so, Melanda, she put in the chat that it would change. Yeah, she's taken it a few times. And guys, because they won't change totally, but some things will drop off. Something may rise up. So it just depends on where you are, because a lot of times you answer the questions according to where you are in life at that particular time. And so if you answer it and, you find out that you really are more of a giver than a, teacher. They swap out, because that's what happened with my daughter. She found out her third used to be server, then it swapped back out from server to giver from her third. And so, it's good to always to retake it, maybe like every 2 years. It's really good. Lamont, thank you for joining. You got any comments?
I'm sorry, I was trying to find the unmute button. Miss Kathy, I just want to say this has definitely been a blessing to me, and this is truly powerful information because of just listening to you. And actually, you answered one of my questions, because I was going to ask how often, should you come back and reassess? Because like you're saying, when we answer those questions, it's based off of what's going on in our life at that time. So of course, as time goes on and you're using those gifts, things start to shift, and you start to change in a better way, especially when you're maximizing your gift. So you answered my question about that. You said about every 2 years. So I'm definitely going to have that on my docket. So, awesome. But I'm excited because hearing all of the different gifts and you breaking them down, I know this is not only is it going to truly help me, but it's going to be able to help and empower people that are around me also. So I look forward to plugging a lot of people into this.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Always supporting you guys. I'm telling you, we're part of an awesome group that they show up, Curry, Lamont, Sakara. I just appreciate you guys being here. A lot of the people that did register, and we is that that some people gonna show up. Those ones who rise to the top, those leaders, they do show up. So they just missed it. I don't know. We may send the recording. I don't know. To the ones who didn't make it. So I don't know. We'll talk about that. That's a Dr. Lisa question. So she helps me a lot with this stuff. So so Melanda, give us a little feedback. Why, girl? I ain't gonna be having you chatting too much. I need to hear you. I saw you for a brief second.
I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm in the car as well, driving.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I've taken the test straight out of high school. I've taken it mid-20s, early 20s, but now I am in my mid-30s. And after hearing a refresher, I know some of my gifts have changed. I know for a fact some of my gifts have changed. But yes. As Kathy was saying, with the compassion person, that's all I was. I've got burned so many times, and that's because I lead with my heart instead of with my brain. Mm-hmm. But overall, I think this is a great life changer. Even taking a test as many times as I have, it really has changed my life tremendously. Awesome. And now that I have a child, I need for her to take it, because this little thing here, baby.
Oh yeah, Miss Riley, child.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yes, honey. So yeah, we need to do the one, because we do it for children and for youth. Well, you would have to take it for Riley. So the kid, they have to be at least 12 or 13 to take it on their own.
Okay. Can I just add something? With something that Melanda just said that just prompted me, in terms of taking it just from a day-to-day work background. I work at the Boys Weather Business School at Emory, and they have every student that enters the business school take what they call a Berkman assessment. And they use that to help formulate, the MBA groups, their working groups. And it's a test designed to help you figure out how you work under stress. It's a work, related test. Some motivational attributes. But I feel like this test, given in those types of settings, because you're really getting to the root of what actually motivates people. And so when they're testing for other reasons, to kind of figure out, how you work under stress, what are some, they're not motivational, and it's not a God-given gift, and where people would really thrive. And so just giving you the importance of something like this, they could really formulate groups that would be life-changing forever. I'm sure that they work well while they're in school, but this changes your life. And like, you know, the gentleman was saying, everybody around you, you know, everybody that, you know, you come in contact with. So I just wanted to throw that tidbit in there. They're testing people, but for the wrong things. It's just another test.
Yeah, it's just another test. And so guess what? And it's not even, like you said, it's not even about who they really are. It's about who they think they are. Yeah, I want a business owner. So I think, you know, and then, you know, if your daddy is like this, then you think that you could take on his characteristics and put that down on the test to say, you know, just to make sure that you get in the right group. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy. But who else we got? We got Miss Renee. Then I guess we'll be done. Renee.
And somebody asked for the discount code, Kathy, the discount code.
So no, the discount code, well, the test is the price is already there. So there's no discount code. So the discount is already there. And so, yeah, because that is the discount because look, Dr. Lisa be setting on my prices. So it's almost $200 to take the test. But today is like $99. Yeah. So look, she had to tell me all that stuff. So I let people operate in their gifts. You know, she's like, no, this is that. I was like, okay, you can't do that. You can't do this. I'm like, yeah, you can tell me what to do. You know what I'm saying? When I'm outside of my lane. So, but anyway, guys, I just thank you all so much. And unless anybody else have anything else that they want to share or ask, Latricia and I just met a few days ago. And we were just on another call in another group and just reached out. So just talking to each other. So it's so good to meet you. So I would really love for us to get together.
Thank you. I'm trying to register while I'm being distracted. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. No, but we're gonna. I really would like for us to get together and talk about some things. Latricia is in South Carolina,
Maryland.
I don't know where I got South Carolina. Somebody on here from South Carolina.
Because you're in Georgia, right?
Yeah, we're in Georgia, but you're in Maryland. Okay, so yeah, Miss Gabrielle, thank you for joining us today.
No problem. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's okay. Oh, girl, we get it. But no, awesome, girl. Let me tell you, I started when I first started learning to teach it. I was teaching anybody. 2-year-old, you gonna listen, you know? And I was teaching some 12-year, like 10, 11, 12-year-olds because I used to have a dance ministry, and I had them to take this test. Those young ladies grew up to be beautiful women, young ladies. They're all mothers and wives and, or in college or working adults. And when one of them got into college, well, a couple of them called me to say that was the best thing that they could have ever done. And guess what? I only did it with them that one time. She said, I understand my professors. So she didn't take things personal, like when they were teaching, because she was straight up compassion. And she didn't get offended like she normally would have, get her feelings hurt and all this, that, or the other, And so, but just for somebody who I taught this when she was 12 to come back to me when she's 18, 19, to say that was the best thing I could have ever done in my life. In her little short life, I'm like, she's just 18 and she's saying that. Oh my God, her first year of college, and it helped her on her job. And so even when she on her job, so 20, like early to mid 20s, and when they were trying to offer her a leadership position, she was like, no. So she called me Miss Kathy, or she called me Auntie. And so she was like, I didn't want to take the lead. She said, I just want to run this by you. But, I'm paying attention. I know that's not my gift. I'm a server and I'm a compassion. So I know I don't like to lead people, but I help them, But everybody I see get in that position, they get fired because they're operating outside of their lane. So now you take them out of the place because now they see she show up, she does an awesome job, she's top, she's winning all kind of awards and bonuses and I said, baby, you tell me. So she was like, I'm doing fine where I am. It's not that she was scared or anything, because she knows that she could do it, but she knows that she don't like managing people. Right? So she didn't manage them. And she felt like that was the best thing decision she had made in that position. And she's killing it right now. She's killing the game. But she just know everybody that takes a leadership position end up being fired, because they get them, now they're going to tear it up, where they would tear up the department or tear up the project or tear up the program, because they put them in a position that they did not belong. So yes, Miss Gabriel, girl, well, I don't know what we got planned, what we doing, but we need to talk. And Mr. Kara, thank you. We'll talk. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Latricia, for inviting her too. I know, I'm glad you reached out and asked. Yeah, absolutely. So we want to be doing some great things together, guys. Uh-oh. Okay.
I'm gonna get.
All right. So with nothing else left, guys, if you don't have anything else for me, I just want to say you guys be blessed, abundantly blessed of the Lord, and you guys enjoy your weekend. And I'll be definitely talking to you guys real soon, I'm sure. Each of that way, I talked to Keisha, Dr. Lisa, I'm be talking to Carrie and Lamont. I'll see you guys. But you all have an amazing weekend, okay? Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you.